Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So we are at GearLab in Stoke-on-Trent today. If you guys saw my previous video, you will know that I removed the rear differential off my BMW E60 5 Series. I then took it up to GearLab, and for the past few days they have been refurbishing it. So I think we should take a look inside and see what they've been up to. Mike, how you doing?
How you doing, George? You okay?
Yeah, good.
Good.
So there it is then.
Yeah, here it is.
Wow. I know you sent me some photos, but that looks even better in real life. It looks brand new. Yeah,
it virtually is, yeah.
So what's the main things that's been done to it then? So
it's had new bearing set. Also, the planet gears were worn, so we replaced all the planet gears on the side.
Right. Is that fairly normal for the mileage that was on it?
It depends. Sometimes you can just get away with a bearing replacement and a reshim.
Right.
But on this one, it was a bit worn, so we thought, best replace them anyway. So we replaced the planet gears and all the bearings and seals.
Okay. Cool.
It's had a full case refurbishment as well, so all the case gets ultrasonic.
To make it look pretty.
Yeah, to make it look pretty. Yeah. It's easy to work with, obviously, when it's clean.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to work with a rusty case. And then we ultrasonic the rear case as well to allow it to breathe a bit better, because you get a lot of carbon deposits inside this chamber.
Is that like a vent valve?
Yeah, that lets you breathe basically.
Yeah, if there's too much pressure build up.
Yeah, but you've got like very small holes, so you can get a bit of sort of carbonate around there quite heavily, so we just clean it off, especially if they've not been series, which a lot of these haven't.
No.
So yeah.
Brilliant. Honestly, does look brand new now. And guys, yes, this is an E46 M3. I knew you'd be asking about this, so yeah, this is Mike's track car.
Yeah.
Should we have a look inside?
Yeah, of course, mate.
And as you can see, full track spec. This thing is completely stripped out. Wow, this thing's got to be pretty light, hasn't it? How much would you say it weighs now?
It weighs with, I think it was half tank of fuel, or nearly half tank of fuel, about 1275.
Right, so they're about 1500, 1600 stock?
This is about 1600, because you did have your other sunroof model.
So did you buy the car stock then?
Yeah, the car was completely standard, so it didn't have, it was just a normal road car. And then we ended up stripping it to sort of a club sport spec, which is sort of like half a cage.
No back seats, is it?
Yeah, no back seats. Yeah. So everything was original up front, and then we ran it like that for about 12 months. Realised that we wanted more out of it, so then we took it back in, completely stripped it to a bare shell, and rebuilt it from the ground up.
Right.
So a lot of work into it. A lot of carbon fibre for this vehicle as well.
Yeah, I noticed the obviously we've got the door card. Is that real carbon fibre?
Yeah, door card, so real carbon fibre. The roof is
that.
Yeah, it's a 2x2 weave roof, which is pretty much exact copy of the CSL roof.
Yeah. And then the front end, that's pretty much all carbon.
Yeah, front end's all carbon.
Bumper.
Bumper, wings, bonnet.
This is the beast.
Yeah.
So is it pretty much standard engine?
Yeah, the engine's well, it's been fully rebuilt. So it's had a bit of head work done to it. New pistons, new rings, new shells, new big end bearings, and then all the head's been decoated. All valves have been seated. So basically, rebuilt and that sort of series, but to standard spec.
Yeah.
And then we've also got, this is a Jeff Steele carbon airbox, in-track suspension, Mishimoto.
Is that what this is, the in-track suspension?
Yeah, in-tracks, yeah.
And coming around to the rear, pretty much all, oh yeah, as you can see,
Yeah.
Completely just gutted in here. No sound deadening or anything. Looking very clean. And then exhaust. This is not a stock exhaust, is it?
No, it's a Butler Motorsport exhaust.
So you done away with the quad tips?
Yeah, the quad tips, yeah. It's running that. Full cage. Cage was built by a guy down south called Sean Gosling. He does all the race cages, the mint job of the cage. T45, so it's quite light.
Right.
Yeah, that was got a cracking job of that. All the floor's been cut out, replaced with carbon panels. All the bulkhead's been removed as well, so there's no bulkhead in the parcel shelf, so that's been cut away. Any unnecessary, brackets or anything like that has all been cut out to save weight.
Lovely.
CSL tailgate, plastic.
Oh, is this plastic, is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, you can feel it's quite light.
These are fitted to the CSLs.
Right.
So they quite save weight.
So when do you hope to be on track next then?
Hopefully it'll at some point this year. I'm hoping. It depends on what lockdown. What happens with lockdown, but hopefully there's sometime this year.
Yeah, get out to Nürburgring.
Yeah, Nürburgring would be lovely. Yeah. If it happens.
If you took this on Nürburgring.
Yeah. Been Nürburgring twice now. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You just need one of the little stickers to go on there now.
Yeah, I need a sticker.
Yeah. And we can see we have a large selection of diffs and possibly a gearbox or two here. What have we got then?
We've got, these are all E92 M3 diffs, which are due in to be remanufactured.
And these are with they got LSDs in them.
Yeah, all these got LSDs. We've got there's a F10. Sorry, no, there's an M5, E60 M5 there. E90 M3 manual and DCT, and then we've got an E46, a few E46 M3 diffs there which are due in for remanufacturing. This specific one, this is a PTU off a Ferrari FFR.
Oh wow.
So that one's in for reworking. What else
Looks complex.
Yeah, they are a bit of a pain in the backside. This is a Bentley GT Continental rear diff. Come in. Porsche Cayenne Turbo S transfer box. It's down there. And these are 5 Series and X5 diffs. And then this one is a motorsport spec M32 from a drag car.
Oh wow. So you cater to all cars, all makes, all brands?
Yeah, pretty much. We specialise a lot in BMWs.
Yeah.
We do a lot of Evo stuff as well, but yeah, we pretty much do usually a lot of bespoke engineering to. But yeah, we do quite a lot of M stuff, M diffs anyway. Currently just trying to sort out the GetDrag 420G, which is a 6-speed box which they're using the M3s and the E36 M3s. We're currently developing at the moment some bits to remanufacture those. So hopefully that'll be something in the near future.
Nice. Okay then, so it's actually been about 2 weeks since I took the trip up to GearLab to collect my rear differential, and the reason for that is because we've had pretty poor weather here in the UK. I really did not fancy lying on the ground in the freezing cold, but now we have some slightly warmer weather. But I just want to say a massive thanks to Mike at GearLab. He really does know his stuff when it comes to differentials and gearboxes. So if you ever are in need of any repairs or a remanufacture of your differential or your gearbox, do not hesitate to get in contact with Mike. I will leave all of the details down in the description box below. But without further ado, let's get outside and let's get this thing installed on the car. Okay then, so this is the setup we have going on. Obviously we have our new refurbished differential in place on the trolley jack. As you can see, I've already replaced the bushes as well. There's 3 bushes in total. There's 2 at the front and there's 1 at the rear here. They've all been replaced. Makes sense to replace them while the diff is out, of course. But yeah, I have my 3 main bolts laid out just there. Then I have this exhaust hanger bracket which actually has to go on this side, so the bolt goes through that and it goes through the bracket as well. But yeah, I'm going to try and jack this thing up. Oh, I have obviously put the flanges back on, and I've already filled it up with oil as well, gear oil. It's 75W90 GL5 spec, and then I've torqued the plug back up as well. I put around 1.1 litres of oil in there. That's what Mike recommended. Obviously you're supposed to, you know, if you're filling it up when it's on the car, you're supposed to have the car perfectly level, and then just keep filling it until it runs out of the fill plug. Obviously this differential only has one plug, it only has a fill plug, it doesn't have a drain plug, so you just keep filling it until it runs out of there. But yeah, I'll fill it up with 1.1 litres, so no need to worry about that once we have this thing installed. But yeah, let's get this thing jacked up and try and get it into position. So, little update then. The differential is actually in place now. This is very hard to do if you're on your own. I recommend getting a second pair of hands, even with a trolley jack, because it's very unstable on the trolley jack. There's a good chance that this, you know, will fall off if you try to do it on your own. So yeah, get a second pair of hands. But as you can see, all 3 bolts are now in place. The rear one as well. Just gotta go ahead and torque these down now. The rear one has to be torqued down to 165 Newton meters, and then the front ones are 100 Newton meters. That's tight enough for that. Okay, so the 2 bolts, they've been torqued down to 100 Newton meters. Then there is a nut on the back of this bolt. It doesn't actually keep the bolt in place. This nut is just to hold this little exhaust bracket in place, so this really doesn't need to be done up that tight. Probably like half of it, I don't know, 50 Newton meters or something. But yeah, this is literally just to hold this rubber hanger in place, so don't go crazy on this nut. Now, this is a big one. So this is the 165 Newton meters one, and the torque wrench doesn't even go up to 165 Newton meters, and it goes up to 140. So I'm going to do it to 100 first, see what that feels like, then go to 140 and sort of gauge the difference, and then do 140 plus a little bit more of a turn. Right, that's 100. That's 140. So I'll do about another 1/8 of a turn, I think. That should do it. That'll do it. Sorted. Oh, that was tough. Now the fun part of trying to retrieve the spanner that you've wedged against the body. That was fun. And now what I'm going to do is start reinstalling the drive shafts and the prop shaft. I'm hoping I can get this back up without undoing the carrier bearing again. Ah yes, there we are. Nice. There we are. Just got to reinstall the bolts. Make sure everything's lined up. There we go then, that is all 6 of the M10 prop shaft to differential bolts now torqued up. Done them to 85 Newton meters, applied some low strength thread locker as well. They should be all good in there now. That is that done. And these centre support bearing to body bolts, these 13mm bolts, these have got to be doing up to 19 Newton meters. Handbrake on. Okay then, so in terms of the drivetrain, we are now pretty much all back together. Obviously diff in place, prop shaft in place, bolts torqued down to 85 Newton meters, and both of the drive shafts are now back in place as well. Those bolts are torqued down to 80 Newton meters. They also have some thread locker on as well. And I've already ran this thing, I've already started up the engine without the exhaust on, of course. Just to make sure everything is moving, you know, freely, and make sure we don't have any strange noises, which you don't, which is good. That means I can go ahead and reinstall the exhaust heat shield and then the exhaust itself. Then that should be pretty much job done then. And as you can see, the exhaust heat shield and the full exhaust system is now back in place. Let's get this thing back on the ground so we can take it for a test drive. Okay then guys, so just got back from a test drive and everything seems to be all good. No unwanted noises or anything like that. One thing I will say is that the car seems much smoother now, which I guess kind of does make sense. You know, Mike did say the Planet gears were pretty worn. I'm guessing the bearings were quite worn as well on the original differential, and you know, it has covered 130 odd thousand miles, so it is to be expected now. But honestly, the car seems to drive like brand new now. Like, I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. Now, if you do have any issues with your gearbox or differential, then please do not hesitate to get in contact with Mike from GearLab. I will of course leave all of the details down below for that. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Please remember to give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one.